In this session, what we're going to do is to set up a trial for Dynamics 365. You'll use a trial when you're learning Dynamics 365 or when you want to go and try out some of the new features that's been released. So the first thing that I'd like to do is to separate that trial from all the other credentials that I have on my machine and everything else that I've logged into. Now you'll notice here that I'm working in Chrome, but you can definitely do this in Edge or Firefox as well. So up here at the top on the right hand side, I'm going to click on my account icon, and what I'm looking for is this add button here at the bottom. Now when you look at my drop down menu there with the other people, you'll notice that there's quite a lot of these accounts set up, and that's simply because I do set up one for each trial that I set up, just so that I can separate the credentials entirely. And I don't get confused in it. I'll talk a little bit more about that in other videos as well. So yeah, I'm just going to click on add. I'm going to give this account a name. And as you can see, I'm being very creative here. I'm not going to add a desktop shortcut, so I don't want that. You can if you want to. And then I'm just going to pick a icon or a avatar for this this person. Select that, click on add, and that will then set up this separate Chrome account for you. Now, I'm not really going to expand on the Chrome account because I don't need that. I really just want this as a container to separate the credentials. So yeah, I'm going to open up a new tab. I'm going to close the one that I had there. And then we're going to go through to trials.dynamics.com, which is where I set up my new trial. Trials.dynamics.com, press enter, and that site will then load for me. Right, so now on this site, what I want to do is just scroll down here to below the set of 7 tiles that I have here. I just want to go and click there on sign up here. Then it's going to check whether or not you are a partner or Microsoft employee. I'm neither of those. I just want to continue signing up. So I'm going to click here on continue signing up. And now it wants to go and check if there is any account that it can use to sign me in. Now here you do need to supply a legitimate email address so that you can receive a confirmation of the account credentials and account information that you've set up here. So yeah, I'm going to supply my email address there and click on next. And you'll see that because that account exists and because I have set up previous trials with that account, it asks me whether or not I want to sign into an existing account. So I don't want to. I really want to set up a new account here. So I'm going to click on create new account instead. If I was adding a trial to an existing tenant, then I would be able to sign in, but that's not why we're here. So I'm going to click here on create a new account instead. And then it's as simple as just completing all the information. So I'll just go and capture that information quickly. So there we go. I've completed the form there. My first name, not going to capture a middle name, my last name, business telephone number. This one also needs to be legitimate so that you can receive text for verification purposes. Company name, and here you need to select make up a company name. Select a fake company. I don't want to call it a fake company name, but make up a company name. If you're associated with a current company or existing company, this process is always going to try and bring you back into that tenant and add this as an environment in that tenant, and we don't want that. Then I just want to say something about company size. Here you've got a couple of options. I normally work on 10 to 24 simply because of the class sizes that I train. So it gives me 24 licenses. It's always also the maximum number of licenses that you're going to get, 25, that you're going to get for a trial. If you select anything upwards of that, it will draw the attention of the Microsoft marketing team, and they would like to pursue your business, which, if it's legitimate business, once again, not a bad thing. So for this, I recommend 10 to 24. It allows you to set it up in such a way that you can have other people be part of this exercise as well as users. Once we've done that, we click on next. Country, you select the country that you're in. Because you're going to have to supply some information around that for the various applications. So stick to the ones that you know. I'm just going to click next here. There we go. and this is where the verification code is sent to the telephone number that I've specified. I've clicked on send verification code. I've received that via my mobile phone, and I've now captured it into the verification code text box, and now I click on verify. We move on to step number 3, and in this step I need to go and specify a domain name, and that's where that made up company name of mine comes into play again. So there where it says your business, just on the left hand side of onmicrosoft.com, I go and type in that business name and I click on check availability. If that name is available, you simply click on next. Otherwise, you try a different name and make a note of that name. So in this case, it's happy with us. We're just going to go and click on next. Our next step here is to set up your user. And as you can see here, you're going to type in your name. And that username is then going to become your name at your domain name.onmicrosoft.com. That's your trial address that you're going to use, or username that you're going to use. You're then going to type in a password and confirm that password. Keep these ones simple, although it still needs a uppercase, lowercase, special characters, and numbers in the password. Then below that, you've got 2 options to sign into Microsoft's marketing. It's up to your discretion to sign into that, to select those 2, and then you're going to click on sign up. The last step is a confirmation of your sign up information. You'll see your username displayed, and then you also see there's a notification that you'll receive an email with all this sign up information. What we're going to do now is click on get started, and then that will bring us into the tenant where we can go and set up the environment in which we're going to install our applications that we're going to use for this trial. Once you've clicked on get started, you'll see that the Power Platform Admin Center opens up, and on the right hand side it opens up a panel that allows you to set up your new environment. Now I've gone through this exercise already, so I'm going to make small changes to the names that I choose for my environment. So first off, you're going to choose a name. Mine would have been FS35, but if you can see there, I already have that environment, so I'm going to make it FS35A. The type, so that's the type of environment that I'm going to set up. Not going to talk through all of them. We are looking for a trial, a subscription-based environment. That simply allows me to add the Dynamics 365 applications to allow me to learn how they work. My region, here it picks up Europe default because I'm in South Africa, so that's fine. I'm going to stick with that. For the purpose, it's always a good idea to type in a note as to what that's all about. So I'm just going to add that note quickly. Okay, so that simply allows everybody looking at the environments to see what the intent of this environment is. Then setting up a database, that is our Dataverse database. For this environment, because it's a subscription-based trial and we are going to add the Dynamics 365 applications there, the option to not create a database is not available. So yes, here we create a database. So I'm going to click on next. Then it's going to prompt me for some more information about my environment. Here I have a choice of the language that I want to set up. I'm going to stick to English. My URL, I'll explain the URL in the next lesson when we talk about how to access and navigate these environments. But yeah, this one is going to be FS35A. So that is similar to the name of the organization or the name of the domain that I've set up. So that just stays the same. Currency, I'm going to stick with the South African Rand as I set that up as my country and my language. So I'm happy with that. The next step here is to enable the Dynamics 365 applications. I am going to enable them because I don't want to go and install them later on, although you could. And then automatically deploy these apps. I'm going to opt for all the enterprise applications. I have full set of all the functionality that I need. Allows me to have a little bit more fun in the environment. My other options there, we can talk about those at a later stage. I do not have a security group, also a discussion for a later stage. That just controls user access to the environments. Right, we're almost done. I'm going to click on save here at the bottom. That's going to run through, and you'll see that environment added to my list of environments here, and it will tell me that it's preparing that environment for me. There we go. So that instance is being prepared. We will pick up the navigation, access, and that type of thing in a next lesson. Thank you for your time, and I hope you have fun setting up your environment.